Despite great technological progress and material abundance, our society is unwell, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. The cause is toxicity, which hampers evolution. Just as toxicity in the soil prevents plants from growing, toxicity in the fabric of society prevents it from evolving to higher states of well-being, harmony, and joy. This video provides guidelines on how to eliminate toxicity from two primary areas of life: relationships and emotions. Part 1. Relationship Detox. Your relationships exert a powerful pull on the quality and direction of your life. Those closest to you influence the way you see reality, how you perceive your power, and thus, your choices. An example of this influence can be seen in a study published in 2007 in the New England Journal of Medicine. The study found that obesity spreads through close relationships. If one of your close friends becomes obese, there is a 57% chance that you will become obese too. Relationships affect all aspects of your life: physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual. If you are serious about spiritual growth, you need to detox from relationships that inhibit your spiritual progress. The first step to creating empowering relationships is to understand our relationship to power. Human beings manifest one of three states of consciousness. These states are powerlessness, external or material power, and internal or spiritual power. The first state is powerlessness. In Eastern philosophy, it is called tamas, which means darkness. Powerlessness is common because it is the pattern we are born into, and unless we consciously evolve, we stay trapped in it. People at this level of consciousness exude victimhood, negativity, drama, and addictions. They constantly complain and are full of resentment, jealousy, anger, and anguish. They relish gossip and tearing others down. Their negativity is contagious and harms others. Some of these people are highly intelligent, but they use their intelligence to dig themselves deeper into cynicism and negativity. The second state is external or material power. In Sanskrit, it is called rajas, which means royalty. What do kings want? To control and rule others. People of this pattern seek external power in the form of money, status, and control over others. They exude passion and energy, but the underlying motive is ego. As a result, you will find these people consumed with greed and a need for superiority. These people often exhibit the destructive energy of agitation, overactivity, excessive ambition, and elitism. The third state is internal or spiritual power. The Sanskrit word for it is sattva, which means truth. People at this level are aligned with higher principles of peace, harmony, and compassion. They revere life and seek opportunities to serve and spread joy. They are lightworkers, people who radiate light amidst darkness. Their life presents an example of how life can be and thus inspires others. A sure sign of people in this category is that they are working on themselves and are more concerned with the inner world of wisdom and understanding than accumulating material wealth. With an understanding of the three levels of consciousness, let's explore the 4 steps to relationship detox. Each step has exercises that need to be done on paper. For each exercise, pause the video and unpause when you are done. Step 1. Categorize your relationships. Divide the paper into 3 sections titled tamas, rajas, and sattva. Now, starting with your closest relationships, put each person's name in one of the 3 categories based on their level of consciousness. Step 2. Limit your exposure to people with tamas or rajas consciousness. If you can eliminate such people from your life, cross out their names and stop associating with them. If you can't, then maintain a respectable distance from them. If you are in an abusive relationship, end the relationship and move on. The longer you stay in an abusive relationship, the more you harm yourself and the abuser. The earlier you end the relationship, the sooner the abuser can confront the consequences of wrong behavior. It is important to understand that you are eliminating people not because you're better than them, but because your journeys don't align. This understanding will help you avoid both self-righteousness and guilt during the detox process. Step 3. Write down ways to cultivate a deeper relationship with each person in the Sattva category. Let them know how much you appreciate them. Create opportunities to connect with them, learn from them, and be part of their mission. Step 4. If you do not have many people in the Sattva category, you can find such people through communities that are dedicated to growth and service. The best way to find such people is by committing to lifelong growth. As you improve yourself, you will find like-minded spirits on the shared journey of growth. These people read, learn from courses, seminars, and workshops. They are part of conscious communities and organize initiatives to empower others. As you advance in your spiritual journey, you can also build your own community along the way. The key is to identify your passion, connect people with the same passion, and serve them. By nurturing a heart-centered community, you'll experience collective joy and growth. Part 2. Emotion Detox. Emotions are central to the human experience. To be human is to have known both joy and sorrow, elation and heartbreak, passion and depression. It is important to understand that there is nothing inherently wrong with negative emotions, such as anger, fear, sadness, and inadequacy. Negative emotions serve a useful purpose. They are biologically hardwired guidance mechanisms designed to protect you from harm. As crude a mechanism as they are, emotions are a gift from creation to help us navigate the human journey. The problem, of course, is when negative emotions linger long after the circumstances that produce them have passed. Negative emotions such as fear secrete cortisol and other stress hormones into the bloodstream. These hormones prepare your body for the fight or flight response, which is exactly what you need when you are in real danger. But if you are not in danger, which is often the case with negative emotions, prolonged exposure to stress hormones creates immunity deficiency, high blood pressure, anxiety, insomnia, and heart problems. For your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being, it is essential to detox from negative emotions. Here are the 7 steps to detoxing emotions. Similar to previous exercises, pause the video for each step and unpause after you have done the exercises. 1. Acknowledge your emotions. The first step to solving a problem is to acknowledge it. Unfortunately, many people unconsciously hide their negative emotions through the psychological defense mechanism of repression. You might have developed this defense mechanism because of parents who suppressed and discouraged emotions. Growing up in an emotionally detached and cold environment can block your ability to express emotions. Repressing emotions doesn't get rid of them, it just pushes them below conscious awareness, where they fester in the psyche and keep creating negative moods. When people don't express emotions, they try to mask their discomfort through distractions, such as addictions, workaholism, or an excessive drive to succeed. Here is the exercise. Write down the emotions you frequently experience and acknowledge them. 2. Uncover the root causes of your negative emotions, which often arise from abuse, neglect, and unmet needs. It is important to do this process by writing down your thoughts on paper to avoid rumination, which is the tendency to play the mental tape of your past over and over. Rumination is counterproductive and drowns you further in negative emotions. Writing on paper allows objective reflection and brings the causes to awareness so they can be healed. For each emotion you wrote in Step 1, write down why you feel the negative emotion. 3. Examine your beliefs about the situation. Negative emotions are caused by limiting beliefs. Let's demonstrate the power of beliefs with the example of heartbreak. Bob and Alice are a couple. Despite Bob's deep love for her, one day, Alice decides to leave him. Bob is devastated with an overwhelming sense of loss. After the initial shock is over, Bob realizes that his depression is not really about loss of love, but about loss of his self-worth. When Alice left, Bob saw that as an unmistakable sign that he must be a bad person. This belief in his unworthiness prevents him from healing and moving on. As Bob works with his beliefs, he can adopt a healthier belief that his worth is not dependent on approval from Alice or anyone else. After all, whether Alice left or stayed, Bob is still the same person. By acknowledging that his worth is independent of external approval, Bob is able to understand that Alice's choices were driven by her own motivations and can move on. For each emotion you listed before, write down the limiting beliefs that are causing the emotion. 4. Forgive. The journey to healing begins with forgiveness. When we forgive, we release the burden of our hurts. The process involves actively forgiving both yourself and others for any transgressions. From a spiritual perspective, true forgiveness lies in the realization that there is nothing to forgive. At the core, you are an indestructible being. Once you claim this indestructibility, the concept of hurt itself changes. We have created a special meditation that works at the level below consciousness to help cultivate forgiveness. The meditation works at the level of energetic patterns. You can access this meditation for free on our website and YouTube. Write down the names of people you need to forgive and then consciously forgive them. 5. Get help. If you are unable to heal psychological wounds, seek professional help, just as you would if you got physically hurt. It is unfortunate that stigma prevents many people from seeking help for psychological problems. If you are serious about healing and moving on, set aside your pride and get professional help immediately. If you need professional help, set aside a time in your calendar to do research and then schedule an appointment. 6. Improve your physical health. The body and the mind are intimately connected. An unhealthy body creates negative moods. This is because it does not produce a sufficient quantity of neurotransmitters, the chemicals of healthy emotions. These chemicals are naturally produced when you exercise. Studies done with clinically depressed patients show that consistent exercise is as effective as antidepressant drugs for treatment, without any of the side effects. In addition to exercise, make sure that you get adequate rest. Fatigue makes the brain unhealthy and creates anxiety, addictions, and depression. Schedule exercise and rest in your calendar. 7. Cultivate spiritual understanding. The root cause of all suffering is spiritual ignorance. The external circumstances of your life, whether comfortable or unpleasant, are nothing more than a temporary setup to help your spiritual growth. From the higher perspective, you are a being of light, eternal and indestructible. True spiritual understanding anchors you in peace that remains unruffled by external conditions. You can develop a greater spiritual understanding through the discipline of daily study. Schedule time to read and meditate every day. As a follow-up, we recommend that you detox all aspects of your life at least once every year. We hope these steps help you release what does not serve you, so you can live a life aligned with purpose, meaning, and joy.